Now, there is one IELTS writing tip that I hear all the time when I'm teaching. I hear it from my students, I hear it from other teachers, I hear it from YouTube videos, but the problem is this is not a tip that they teach in the IELTS examiner training. So, I'm a real IELTS examiner, and today I'm going to tell you about this one tip and explain why this tip is completely wrong. Now, this tip is that you must paraphrase at the beginning of IELTS writing task 2. Now, this is not correct. This is not something that examiners test, and I have no idea why this has suddenly become so common for teachers and online courses. It's not in the IELTS examiner training. Now, before I tell you what to do instead, let me just explain a little bit why I think this has become so common. Now, in the mark scheme, it does talk about paraphrasing, but why the teachers and online courses have interpreted this as being paraphrasing at the beginning of your essay, I have no idea. Now, in the mark scheme, what they teach you during the IELTS examiner training is that means taking imprecise language and making it more precise during your writing. It doesn't mean randomly paraphrasing the question at the beginning of your essay. That is not mentioned anywhere in the training. So let me give you an example. So paraphrasing in this context means taking a word like dog, which is quite imprecise. That could mean any kind of dog in the world, and instead saying something like poodle, which is a much more precise type of dog and gives more information to the person reading about what you're writing about. That's the kind of paraphrasing they're talking about in the mark scheme. They're not talking about just randomly writing a paraphrase at the beginning of your essay. Now, the reason this is so bad for your score is that anyone can do that. And this almost always, in my experience, keeps the writing at either band 6 or band 6.5. So if you're getting 6 or 6.5, this is probably the reason why that is happening. Now, the reason it keeps your score at such a low level is because it doesn't show enough written communication to the examiner for you to get a higher band score in the exam. And the reason for that is that anyone can do that. Anyone, even someone who doesn't speak English, can just take some words, change them around. You can learn how to do that in one afternoon. It doesn't mean you can actually write in English effectively, which is what the IELTS writing examiner is looking for above 6 or 6.5. So instead of paraphrasing, what you can do is naturally introduce the topic to the person reading. And that's not just simply paraphrasing and changing some words, which we said doesn't show any written communication. Now, there's two main ways you can do this. Number one, you can imagine what you would say to a friend about this topic and then write it in 2 sentences. And number two, you can compare the past and you can compare now, writing 2 sentences about it, introducing the topic naturally. And this is one of the main ways that you can improve your score in writing. So, if you found that helpful and you would like to know more ways to improve your score in the exam, then subscribe to this channel and check out some of our other videos to help you for the IELTS exam.